Well, they need an event to happen where people are asking for it. So in my opinion, the way that the US CBDC gets introduced is eventually probably 2025, 2026, after you have the elections that come through and you have essentially what's looking like hyperinflation. Something has to break. We all know that something has to break. The Fed has said it many times in the past. And people like Ray Dalio and other people are calling for this. Lots of data to back this up. So this looks like a 1930s, Great Depression type of event that happens. This will put everybody out of work. This will put everybody out of food, and people will be scared, right? People who have had safety and security, food and shelter, will be scared for the first time in a long time and not knowing what to do, right? And then you will have whoever is in office and running at the time will come out with the solution, right? Everyone's really hungry, scared, out of work, doesn't have any money. And so the solution will be, hey, we are modern, we're hip, we're cool, we use blockchain. It's not real blockchain, it's a centralized blockchain, but we use blockchain. And we have a way better monetary system. The guys of the past, they tried their best, it was a failed system. Now we're putting everything on blockchain, it's gonna be transparent, you guys can trust us, blah, blah, blah. And we know that you're hurting right now, we're sorry the economy sucks. All you have to do is download this app, scan your face, connect all your accounts, and we will instantly send you, $1,200 of stimulus so that you can go buy food and groceries and, pay your mortgage, pay your rent. And this has to happen. I already know right now that that it will not be openly accepted with open arms, but as we know, when the US had all of their privacy stripped away from them after 9/11, they made this huge bill about the Patriot Act and how it was going to be the anti-terrorist bill, but what they really did was sign away all of our rights to privacy for them to wiretap our phones and look at all of our conversations. This would have never happened if you didn't have this big event happen prior that made everybody terrified of terrorists.
So Amazon Web Services saying 10 minutes ago that there are significant API errors and connectivity issues across multiple servers in its US East 1 region. We're expecting an update on that within a half hour. Now, this outage first hit early this morning, knocking dozens of companies offline, from government websites to crypto platforms and AI tools like Perplexity. AWS powers roughly a third of the cloud market, and the issue stemmed from a failure in its Northern Virginia data center, disrupting more than 70 services. Now, cyber experts say it wasn't a cyber attack, but it does highlight how fragile the internet's backbone has become, especially in the age of AI, where services like Anthropic rely on AWS to run their large language models in real time. AWS's US East 1 region has been a recurring point of failure for them. It is the cloud's busiest, most interconnected zone. And when something breaks there, the ripple effects spread fast. Morgan Stanley called the incident not helpful to already fragile AWS sentiment. They expect Amazon to issue credits to customers. Investors will have this in mind when Amazon reports earnings next week. Remember, AWS growth has been lagging behind Azure and Google, and backlog now trails Microsoft and Oracle.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is It's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And I told you that we would get a first quarter pullback, and that's what happened. And then also I told you that tariffs would get stepped up, and that's what happened. Layoffs would pick up. That's what happened. So the Crypto Teacher gives you a warning like Noah and Gilgamesh, whichever one you want to call it. But we will get some type of reset this year. Most likely stable coins are the catalyst. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. But we have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten. And more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we get news out of China that the NSA has been hacking into their system. And do you think it's a coincidence that Amazon goes down? And of course, Amazon's AWS says no, it wasn't any type of hack, but we know what goes through the masses' minds. And we know anytime we get an outage like this, a lot of times it's planned because either they're updating the system or they're trying to cause a distraction. But the movie is definitely heating up. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Let's get into the video. And we have Bitcoin and crypto moving up. We also have stocks up big. And it's going to be a roller coaster ride over these next 2 weeks. And then, of course, we have the drama with the government shutdown. I'm going to go over that later. Now, we have Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary predicts AI will automate most retail purchases with blockchain handling of payments. And this doesn't sound realistic for those who don't know the fourth industrial revolution, but we know this technology is already ready. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, these AI agents are going to work on behalf of your digital twin. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates right now down. And that is all based on manipulation. We have the dollar slightly up. We have volume in crypto up. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $4 billion on Friday. Make sure you pull it on a daily basis during the week. And then also we know the Treasury is working in the background to manipulate that long end. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates high for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build its fourth industrial revolution, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And we have the Fed to host its Payments and Digital Asset Innovation Conference tomorrow. And of course, this was set up back in September. We know this is a plan that moves in phases, and this is going on during the shutdown. And we know the sheep have no clue. They don't even know who the Fed is. They don't even know who Jerome Powell is. Nevertheless, thinking about digital payments and all this innovation that's going on right now. Now, we do have the government shut down, of course, on social media. One of the main topics is not paying out SNAP for November. But guys, we know the NWO. They don't play with the people that are barely making it, because that's the class that don't care. They're going to do whatever it takes. They're not like the middle class or the rich. They're going to take whatever you give them because they've already established something. They don't want to lose it. But those who are just barely above the water, they're going to do what they have to do. And that's the class you don't mess with. That's the class you don't get in an uproar. So I definitely see the government open before November 1st. Remember, this is a plan that moves in phases. It's problem, reaction, solution. They're going to get the people to beg for the solution that they already had ready. Remember, the C word was just a test. They made sure they took care of the poor with that free money. And in the simulation, they already know how you're going to react. Don't forget the NWO wants controlled chaos. There is a difference. They don't want uncontrollable chaos. They want controlled chaos. And therefore, you can bring in order. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, we had President Trump confirms he will meet with Chinese President Xi on October 31st at APEC Summit in South Korea. And we know October 1st is not only Friday, but Halloween. And remember, I told you this a while ago, that we were going to have a whole lot of entertainment when it came to Halloween. And plus, it's on a Friday. And we know we always get entertainment on a Friday. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum, spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum, spot ETFs up as I'm doing this video. And we know these spot ETFs took a beating last week. I don't see them taking a beating this week that bad. But next week, they're definitely going to take a beating. We know we have futures ending. Now, getting over into a little crypto news. We have Tom Lee, Bitmine emerging at 800 million of ETH, bringing ETH holdings to over 13 billion. And the emerging markets, especially South Korea, has helped pumping Ethereum with these treasuries. Now we have BlackRock to launch its first Bitcoin-linked fund in the UK. And we know this is definitely a global agenda. And we see BlackRock just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now we have Ripple-backed Evernorth plans a U.S. listing aiming to raise over $1 billion and build the largest public XRP treasury. And we're seeing a lot of great news when it comes around crypto, but then also not just treasuries, but we're also seeing utility of these cryptos, but it's not showing in the price. And remember what I told you, 2026 or 2028, it's time to build. You definitely have to be patient because all these corporations are going to be using the utility of these digital assets. That's just a fact. So yes, you may have to wait a little longer for the utility bull run, but guys, it's definitely coming. You can clearly see it, especially if you've been with me from the beginning. We clearly see the plan. Yes, it may take longer than what you want, but in 2 years, the fourth industrial revolution is going to be here. Trump's job is to get us moved over to this new digital economy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, when it comes to these treasuries, yes, there's a lot of leverage out there, and it's not going to end well. But remember, crypto is going to take the blame for the fall of the legacy market, and these digital assets are going to rise like the phoenix. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then lastly, we have AWS has outage, and it shows how centralized our system is. And majority of everything is on an app, and we know these apps are connected to the cloud. So you had all these apps down, airline check-ins. So just imagine if we happen to get a hack, and you know how I feel about hacks, majority of them are inside jobs. It was shut down. Not just America, but the global system. It's a handful of companies that own everything, and we only have like 4 or 5 major cloud providers. And AWS is one of the big ones, and we know a lot of our main projects rely on AWS. Of course, Coinbase is one. Now, when we do hear about cyber attacks, they're like a week, 2 weeks, or even a month old. That Black Swan event is coming. So therefore, they can bring in all this technology, where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.